Story of the Sun, written by Ned Jensen, illustrated by Maria Forrest and Heather Burns. Focus question. What lesson does soul learn? Long ago, a curious young boy lived in a far-off land. To the east, there were mountains. To the west, there was a large sea. As each day began, the curious young boy sat and looked to the east. He watched the sunrise over the mountains. As each day ended, he looked west. He watched the sun sink into the sea. The curious boy's name was Saul. Saul was named after the sun. But Saul wondered where the sun came from, and he wondered where it went each night. The harder Saul thought, the more confused he became. He wondered how many suns there really are. Would there ever be a time when a new sun would not rise from the east? Saul was smart. He knew that the sun brought light. He knew that without the sun, everything would be dark. He knew that without the sun, everything would be dark. He also knew that the sun brought warmth. He loved to feel the warm sun on his brown skin. So worried about a day when a new sun might not rise. He worried about living in a land of darkness. He worried about being cold. So learned about a wise woman. He was told she knew the answers to everything, so he decided to visit her. The wise woman lived in a village. The village was near the mountains. It was near where the sun rose each morning. One morning, Saul awoke early. He got eggs from his chickens and shared them with neighbors. It was his daily chore. Then he went to the village. The wise woman greeted so warmly. She took him into her hut, and she began to answer his questions about the sun. First, she explained where the sun came from. Do you see that large mountain? The one that is towering above all other mountains, she asked, pointing east. So replied, Yes, I do. In fact, I see the sun rise over that mountain each morning. Well, said the wise woman, that is where new suns came from. Each night after the sun sinks into the sea, the mountain feels cold and alone. But then the mountain thinks about the kindness it sees every day. The mountain thinks about all the things people do for each other, she said, and then it feels warm inside. All that warmth builds up. The wise woman kept telling her story. By morning, the warmth is too much. The mountain spits out a giant ball of fire. The ball is split out with great force. It shoots up high into the sky. The fireball lights the land below as it travels across the sky. It also hits the land. When the ball of fire reaches its highest point, it begins to drop. She continued. In a few hours it crashes into the sea. The cool waters of the sea push out the ball of fire. It is very important that the villagers keep caring for each other and showing kindness, she said. As long as we warm the mountain with kindness, it will make a new sun each morning. But if ever we fail to do so, there will be no new sun. Then the land will become dark and cold. From that day on, Saul worried no more. He played happily in the trees. He knew there would always be light and heat as long as the villagers took care of one another. And he knew they always would.